Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to my third Camp Nanowrimo vlog. Today is actually Thursday, day 11 of Camp Nanowrimo. I didn't end up filming yesterday on Wednesday because my voice was just dead. I felt like crap. I'm not super sick or anything, it's really just a cold, but it was very throaty the last couple days. If you saw the video that I posted on Saturday where my voice was just a husky mess, it was a lot worse than that. So I just didn't film. I'm still a little bit scratchy, but I'm definitely a lot better. So to catch you up on yesterday, I wrote 1,012 words, which brought my total to 10,967. I didn't end up doing any like fun randomizations or generators for it because honestly, I just wanted to write quickly and just get everything out of the way because I just really wanted to go to bed early and just have an early night, get some rest so I could feel better in the morning, which honestly really helped, and I'm glad I did that. So I basically just wrote a scene that was mostly dialogue because, like I mentioned in my last video, I've been finding dialogue the least difficult part of the process because dialogue can flow so naturally and you don't necessarily need to plan it for it to like move in a direction. It's not necessarily going to go in a helpful direction, but it's going to move along, whereas sometimes if, you know, I'm thinking of plot, I don't know what's happening next, so I have to kind of stop and think about it. Whereas dialogue, it's a lot more natural to just kind of respond to whatever the first person said, go from there. And then that person responds to that person, go from there, etc. So yesterday I wrote predominantly dialogue and it went pretty good. It was pretty fun. Today, I wanted to get back to my randomizing ways. So I'm gonna actually use one of my favorite like writing prompt type things that I've done in previous years for NaNoWrimo, and I usually only use it for like maybe one sprint, but I like listening to music while I write, so what I like to do is kind of just put it on a shuffle and the first song that pops up, either use a line from that song or have a scene that's like inspired by that song, something along those lines. And I find that usually kind of gives me some cool ideas or is at least a fun way to kind of try to incorporate something. So of course, because this whole experiment is about just exaggerating everything and going to all of the extremes, I'm going to be listening to my music while I write, and every time the song changes, try to incorporate something from that song. And same thing, whether it's kind of like what the song is talking about, whether it's a lyric from the song, whether it's inspired by like the content of it, something like that. Now unfortunately, because of copyright rules, I can't have the music playing, but I have my headphones and my iPod. Also, look at my really cool iPod case. I'm just gonna be listening to these songs, and every time the song changes, I'm gonna have to go in whatever direction that is or incorporate that. So we'll see how this goes. Maybe I'll regret this, maybe this is just a challenge and torturing myself, but what is this month if it's not for torturing yourself, really? So without further ado, I'm gonna get my music all ready and we're just gonna start writing. Alright, that actually went really well. I wrote 1,366 words and I brought my April total so far to 12,333. So that's awesome. I did way better than I expected. This challenge was difficult, but really fun. In case it was hard to see during the clips, I'm gonna let you know what songs I got and how I incorporated that. So first was You Wanna Make a Memory by Bon Jovi. For that one, I started a scene where the characters were just talking about different memories that they had, where they came from. One of them was thinking about her family, and they were just kind of like, a bonding moment between two of the characters. Then it was Is Anybody Home by Our Lady Peace, and that tied in really nicely because since they were already thinking about like childhood memories, it kind of segued right into thinking about their homes, where they came from, stuff like that. Then it was Do or Die by Papa Roach. Fief the Barbarian is talking about just like how hard it was growing up in a barbarian tribe and how like much violence there was. And Elisar the Healer was asking like if she had to fight a lot as a kid. So Fief said you either did or died, because you know, do or die. That actually ended the chapter. The next song I got was For the First Time by The Script. And one of the opening lines is, she's all laid up in bed with a broken heart. So because these are healers, they came into the town and the town people needed help with healing, and obviously they asked them to help them, and they see this woman, it's wintertime, and she had slipped on some ice and fallen down some stairs and broken bones, internal bleeding, etc. You know, the usual winter fiasco. And Fief's first reaction when she sees her is that she's all laid up in the bed with all broken bones. So I kind of like twisted the lyrics around a little bit, but it actually made for a really fun scene. No, well, fun sounds a little bit dark, but you know what I mean. It was fun to write, and it was nice to kind of show the healer actually doing some healing and passing on some of her medical knowledge and doing some stuff like that. And then the last song that I got was Bethlehem by Christaberg. Christaberg is one of my favorites. I love his song so much. That one I really thought I was gonna have trouble with because a lot of the lines wouldn't really make sense in the context of my story, and I don't know, I thought I was gonna have a lot of trouble with it. But one of the like reoccurring images that he uses in the song is a dove and a hawk. So I was actually really proud of this one. I was in the scene where the healer is helping this woman that had fallen, and she had, you know, cut the body open to address the internal bleeding and sewing her up and stuff, and Fief was there and it was from her point of view. So one of the things she said is after she opened her up and was looking for the source of the internal bleeding, once she found it, she dove into the body like a hawk seeing its prey, because dove and dove are spelt the same way, and hawk, right? I was proud of that, like considering how hard that was. So yeah, this was honestly one of the most successful ones. I wasn't even writing for that long. I probably should have checked what time it was when I started writing. So all in all, this has been really successful, and I think I'm going to try this method again another day because it was really fun, really successful, and I think it's going to be a cool way to do some things. So stay tuned for that. So I guess that's all I have for Thursday. Now on to Friday. Now it is Friday. It is about 6:25 a.m. I have about half an hour before I have to leave for work, but I am already dressed. I have my lunch packed. I have supper prepped for when I get home tonight. So everything is all ready to go, so I can use that half an hour for writing. I think I want to do that watching wrestling, guessing the outcomes thing again, because I haven't watched NXT yet and it's already Friday. So this is a good excuse to watch wrestling, write, and because I had pretty good momentum yesterday, I think that I'll be fine without like a starting prompt. So I'll just write out the scene and then once the match ends, take it in whichever direction it goes. So that's my game plan for this morning, and I'll check in a bit. And now it's 7 o'clock. I wrote just shy of 500 words. I think it was 493. I did take a quick break to brush Spock because I wanted to take advantage of her calm mood. Right, Spock? Yes, look at how nice you are now. Yeah. But I'm still really happy with 500 words. Also, I was able to guess every single match right, so that was really good for my characters. So because I guessed the matches right, my characters got a free hot meal, which, I mean, free food is always great. The inn they're staying at upgraded them to one of their like high-end exclusive rooms for free, and the last match finished right at 7 o'clock, so I had to stop writing, so I just put note to self, something good happens. So we'll see what that ends up being. But now it is time to leave for work, so I'm gonna go do that. Alright, so by my change of outfit, you can probably guess that it's not Friday anymore. It's not even Saturday. Today is Sunday, day 14 of Camp Nanowrimo. After I got home on Friday night, I edited, excuse me please Ripley, I edited the video that I wanted to have up for Saturday, and after that I was just really tired and my cold was getting better, but still like enough to make me kind of feel glad. So I decided to have an early night. I went to bed early. I slept in a little bit to get a really good night's rest to kind of kick this, and I'm feeling 1,000 times better. My nose isn't stuffed anymore. I still have the tiniest bit of a scratch in my voice just because I had been coughing so much all week, but I feel so much better. I decided for yesterday I just didn't feel like writing. I was almost a full days ahead of schedule anyways with my word count, and I only had one day off this week because the shift changed in the middle of the week. I don't know, I just wasn't in the mood for writing, so I decided to just have an easy day. I played like a million hours of my time at Porsche. I just kind of relaxed, I took it easy, and it was definitely what I needed, so I'm really glad that I did that. So this morning I woke up early, I got my writing for the day done. I actually wrote 1,353 words. I watched, I think, last weekend's write-in from the Word Nerds. I like their write-ins because, first of all, I love virtual write-ins, but they also always have prompts. So I thought, because this pantsing project, that would be really fun to actually use the prompts for once. And I think I might have just set up a really cool plot twist. We'll see when we get there because I'm not planning ahead. But yeah, there were some things that I said that I realized could definitely lead to some pretty good consequences. But yeah, I wrote about 1,300 words and my total is at 14,179. So I'm back on track. I don't remember if I mentioned in the last clip or not. Elisar and Fief got to the next town and they were there to be like welcomed by the healer, but it turns out that the healer had a nasty accident and shattered her leg and internal bleeding, blah blah blah, so they had to have like an emergency surgery on her. Are you licking my hair? And if you remember, the prompt that I ended on was something good happening because I correctly guessed the outcome of the match. And then the Word Nerd sprint was that something really huge would happen. So I decided that their patient makes a miraculous recovery. I had a bit of an idea of the reasoning I wanted, but I was still writing it and trying to make it work. And then for their second writing sprint, the prompt was that an extra element gets added in to like complicate things. So I'd already decided that obviously she was healed magically because that just makes sense. It had been like less than 12 hours. You don't just boop, all better. But the wrench I threw in my plans is that it was actually Fief that healed her magically, even though she has no magical training and didn't think she knew any magic. I thought this actually worked really well because during the surgery scene, I talked about her panicking because she's paranoid and she was just thinking about like, this person's gonna die, this person's gonna die. And her job, because she had no real training yet, was just to keep her fingers on the woman's neck to feel for a pulse, check, like look at her breathing, and basically make sure she stayed alive while the actual healer worked and healed her. And I had her kind of like repeating over and over in her head like, please be alright, please be alright, please be alright. And then I decided, okay, fine. That was magic. It's kind of like that cliche, you're so desperate you accidentally use magic even though you didn't know you had magic. So yeah, I guess now my barbarian knows magic. Well, she doesn't know magic, she has magic. She doesn't know how to use it yet. So yeah, don't know what's gonna happen with that. Don't know how that's gonna tie in with whatever the healer is researching that I haven't decided yet, or what those weird hand-me-downs have to do with anything. Although there is one direction I could take it that I think would be really fun, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But yeah, today's writing was so much fun and I'm really excited for tomorrow, but it's almost time to leave for work, so done writing for today. I'll see you in the next clip. Alright, now it is Tuesday the 16th. I didn't end up writing yesterday because my official excuse is that my shifts have changed and now I'm working the nights, and I had breakfast with my mom, well, a late breakfast with my mom, and then we hung out and ran some errands, and I had about an hour between that and going to work, and I just didn't feel like writing and I was tired, and then when I got home from work I was tired. If I'm being honest, it's probably because halfway through Camp Nano, I always hit a slump, like usually around the 2.5 week mark. I lose momentum and the ending is still so far away, but I'm just kind of starting to slow down a bit. So I think I'm starting to hit that slump, but it worked out perfectly because in about 2 minutes, there is a live writing going on with Kate Kavanaugh and Becca C. Smith, and first of all, I love those two, and I love their write-ins. I think they're like the perfect mix of like chatty and actually productive. So like we have all those productive writing sprints so we can get our words done, but it's still like that kind of chatty, like fun, you know, not writing alone thing. And honestly, sometimes I write like while we're talking, but either way, I get so many words done when I'm writing with these guys. So I'm so excited for that to start. I really hope that I can get a pretty decent amount of words today. I don't think I'm gonna catch up by the end of this, but progress is progress, so we're just gonna do our best. Anyway, this is gonna start any second, so I'm gonna hop in and see how much I can write. Alright, I just finished the live write-in. It was super productive, the chat was awesome, and there was a really cool plot twist in the stream itself. It was just really, really cool to see Beck and Kate actually together and filming together, and it was like, they did a really good job like with the reveal, so like, if you guys are watching, good job. But I got 1,637 words and brought my total for April to 15,816. So I am almost caught up, which feels great after taking a whole day off, and I really feel like this was the push I needed to kind of get me out of that slump I was in, so I'm really, really happy. Story-wise, I didn't make like a ton of progress. It was mostly just like, I don't know, tying up some loose ends, finishing off some things from the last scene, an introduction to the town they were in. I have noticed though, one of the things that I am definitely struggling with is my world building is definitely a lot weaker than it usually is. I almost always write fantasy, and I think I'm usually pretty good at world building, but this one where I, didn't spend any time thinking about it, the world just isn't in my head, and there's just so many little things that as I'm writing, I'm realizing I don't know, and it's just, I think it's really showing up in the work. Sorry, my rabbit's drinking water. But it is now 3 p.m. It's actually 3:04 and I have to leave for work. So that is all for today. I don't think I'm gonna end up writing when I get home tonight, so I'll close out the vlog now. I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog, and if you're participating in camp, I hope that you've had a productive writing week so far. Let me know if you guys also hit the like midway slump like I do, and any tips or tricks you have to kind of like get yourself out of it. So far for me, I think my most helpful thing I do is to join the live write-ins, but if anybody has any other tips, I'd be more than happy to hear them and add some more tricks up my sleeve. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it so you can let me know, and subscribe so you can keep following along on the journey. I post reading and writing related videos every Wednesday and Saturday. And don't forget to join me on Twitter at @tebuggy. I've been posting on Twitter a lot more and I'm having fun like interacting with people, so feel free to follow me on there because I would love to make new friends. I hope to see you guys next time, and until then, have a great day. Bye!